उपदेष्टारमीश्वरं व्यापकं सर्वलोकानां कारणं तन्नमाम्यहम्। श्लोक 115। अंगानां समतां विद्यात् समे ब्रह्मणि लीनताम् नो चेन्नैव समानत्वम् रजुत्वं शुष्कवृक्षवत्। The author is giving a higher perspective of each aspect of meditation. Angasamya is another aspect prescribed in the Shastra. Even in Bhagavad Gita, samam kaya shiro grivam, body, neck and head should be kept in a straight line during meditation. This is called Angasamya in the general understanding. The author says, Angasamya in Nididhyasana is resolving all the angas of the body in Brahman. Shuddhe Brahmani Leenatam. Resolution, Leenata of all the parts of the body in Brahman means understanding that every part of the body is essentially Brahman only. Then what happens? All the differences in Anga is gone. Now hand is different, head is different. But when you understand every part of the body is Brahman, in other words, the body by itself is mithya. This understanding is Angasamya, because then every Anga is same Brahman. So, Anganam Same Brahmani Leenatam, the resolution of all the Angas in the Brahman, which is Sama, which is same everywhere, uniform everywhere. Anganam Samatam Vidyat. Understand it as Angasamya. There is Vaishamya everywhere in the world. Vaishamya means differences. In Brahman there is no differences. So resolution of the differences in Brahman is Angasamya. And the author says just sitting straight is not Angasamya. The author is pointing out the inadequacy of just a physical sitting. Physically sitting straight, of course it is important, but it does not serve the purpose by itself. What is more important getting the vision. So that is the purport of these verses. No chet, if it is not so, naiva samanatvam, it is not samanatva. One may sit straight for hours, despite sitting for hours. If the mind does not abide in Brahmajnana, if the mind does not abide in Paramatma, there is no use. Because standing straight or sitting straight, even the trees do. No chet naiva samanatvam rajutvam shushka vrikshavat. It is just straightness like a dry tree. Even a dried up dead tree also stands erect for ages. Does it get Brahmajnana? No. So, next, drishtin jnanamayim kritva pashyed brahmamayam jagat sa drishtif paramodara nanasagravalokini. Drishti. Next anga, drishti. There is a prescription of drishti also. Where should our eyes look? Means what should be the position of our eyes during meditation. In Gita, you find some prescriptions. Sampreksha nasikagram swam. Watch the tip of the nose. See, the eyes should be gently closed. Means not fully closed. It can be slightly open. And the eyeball position should be such that it is as though looking at the tip of the nose. Means eyeball should be converging. If you rest the eyes, what will happen? The position of the eyeballs will be such that it will as though look at the tip of the nose. That is the idea behind such statement. Sampreksha nasikagram swam. It does not mean one should really look at the tip of the nose and meditate at the tip of the nose. Because for meditation, certain other themes are given. So, nasagravalokini, it is the position of the drishti prescribed. But for nididhyasana, the author gives a different description for drishti. Drishti does not mean just the vision of the eyes. Drishti means the vision of knowledge. Jnanamayim drishtim kritva. Have the vision of knowledge. Drishtim jnanamayim kritva. Brahmamayam jagat pashyet. Jagat brahmamayam pashyet. See the jagat as nothing other than Brahman. Sadrishtif paramodara. This is the greatest drishti. Paramodara drishti. The greatest drishti is to understand Jagat is pervaded by Brahman. Na nasagravalokini. Just seeing the tip of the eyes is not the drishti. Next verse, there is a misprint. Drashtr. The takara should be replaced by ta. Drashtr darshana drishyanam viramo yatra va bhavet drishtis tatraiva kartavya nanasagravalokini. Another description. In fact, it is an extension of the previous description itself. Brahman transcends Triputi. There is a term called Triputi. Triputi is another way of explaining the duality. We can explain the duality in many ways. We can explain the Dvaita in many ways. One way of explaining the Dvaita is Triputi. Drashtr, Darshana and Drishya. Drashtra means seer, subject. Drishya, object. Subject, object, and darshanam, the process of seeing. Subject, object, and the process of seeing. Drashtra, darshana, drishya. The universe consists of Triputi, the threefold duality. Brahman transcends Triputi. There is no duality in Brahman. Therefore, there is no bheda, no difference in the form of subject, object, and the vision. The differences are mithya. So, drashtru darshana drishyanam viramo yatra va bhavet. Yatra, yasmin brahmani. In the Brahman, there is a cessation of Triputi. Triputi comes to an end when you understand the truth of Brahman. Triputi is no more real. Drishtis tatraiva kartavya. One should keep one's drishti there. One should be aware of the Brahman that is free from Triputi. Na nasagravalokini. Chittadi sarva bhaveshu brahmatvenaiva bhavanat nirodhas sarva vrittinam pranayamassa uchyate. Next anga is pranayama. Pranayama means regulation of breath. And through the regulation of breath, we regulate the vrittis of the mind. Vritti means the functions of mind, the thoughts of mind. If one does pranayama, the mind becomes quiet, free from the disturbing thoughts. This is the regular pranayama. Now he gives another interpretation of pranayama from the standpoint of nididhyasana. This pranayama is to quieten all other thoughts of mind, quieten all worldly thoughts of mind by abiding in the understanding of Brahman. Chittadi sarvabhaveshu, in every object, including the mind and including the thoughts of the mind, brahmatvenaiva bhavanat, understanding everything as Brahman, sarvavrittinam nirodhaha, quietening of all the vrittis, quietening of all the disturbing thoughts of mind. Just observe your mind. When the mind is restless, observe the mind, observe the thoughts, and understand every thought is dependent on Brahman. Therefore, every thought is mithya. Then the vrittis subside. This discipline is pranayama. This is another way of quietening the vrittis in the process of nididhyasana. Sarvavrittinam nirodhaha saha pranayama uchyate. Now he gives another interpretation of pranayama. Pranayama has three angas, three parts, three aspects: Rechaka, Puraka, and Kumbhaka. Rechaka means exhalation, breathing the air out. Puraka means filling the air in. And Kumbhaka, retention of breath. He explains each aspect of pranayama in a different perspective. So what is Rechaka? We'll see. 119. Nishedhanam prapanchasya Rechakakhyas samiranaha Brahmaivasmiti ya vrittihi Purako vayuriritaha. Prapanchasya nishedhanam, negation of prapancha. Rechakakhyas samiranaha, it is the samirana, the prana called Rechaka. Samirana means air. Rechakakhyaha, known as Rechaka. So Rechaka means breathing out. Here breathing out means negation of the prapancha. Jagan mithya. the Jagat is mithya. Abiding in this knowledge is rechaka, because you are giving up the Jagat in your understanding. The unwanted is given up, released out. Brahmaivasmiti vrittihi purako vayuriritaha. Then Puraka means taking the air in. What one should take in? Aham Brahmasmi. I am Brahman. Brahma Satyam Aham Brahmasmi. So Brahmaivasmiti vrittihi. This vritti Purako Vayuhu iritaha. This is Puraka Vayu, the air that is breathed in. Tatastadvritti naishchalyam kumbhakah prana sanyamaha ayanchapi prabuddhanam ajnananghrana pīdanam. Then Kumbhaka, tatastadvrati naishchalyam. Naishchalya, being steady in the thought of Brahman. Tadvritti naishchalyam, steadiness in the thought of Brahman. Kumbhakaha, it is Kumbhaka. And this is Prana Sanyama. This is the Pranayama. Ayanchapi Prabuddhanam. This Pranayama is meant for Prabuddha, a Jnani. It cannot be done by Ajnanis. This is a Pranayama at a different level. Then what is the Pranayama for Ajnanis? Ajnanam Pranapidanam. They have to press their nose. Granapidanam. Grana means nose. They have to press their nose. Means inhalation, exhalation, the regular pranayama. So, the regular pranayama should be practiced in order to arrive at this pranayama ultimately. So, this is the purpose of all other disciplines. Every other discipline is meant for arriving at this state. Vishayeshvatmatan drishtva manasaschiti majjanam pratyaharassa vijñeyaha abhyasaniyo muhurmuhu. Mumukshubhihi. Yeah. Abhyasaniyo mumukshubhihi. Pratyahara is another anga in Ashtanga Yoga. Pratyahara means withdrawal of the senses and the mind from the objects, from the Vishayas, bringing the senses and mind back. Withdrawing them is called pratyahara. Here, What is the way to do pratyahara? How in the process of nididhyasana, pratyahara is included. One should see every object as Atma. Vishayeshu Atmatan Drishtva. Seeing the Atmatva in every object. Manasaha Chiti Majjanam. Resolving the mind in Chaitanya. First of all, negate the Vishayas. All Vishayas are Atma. And then understand even Manas is Atma. Manas does not exist independent of Atma. Then what happened? The Manas merged in Chaitanya as though. Saha pratyaharo vijneyaha. It is known as pratyahara. So when you see every object is Atma, and mind is also Atma, the mind does not go out, it stops going out. Mumukshubhihi abhyasaniyaha. It should be practiced by the mumukshus. Yatra yatra mano yati brahmanastatra darshanat manaso dharanam chaiva dharana sa paramata. Dharana, another anga of Ashtanga Yoga. The same anga is incorporated in Nididhyasana in a different way. What is dharana? Deshabandhas chittasya dharana. Fixing the mind on a given place in the body is called dharana. You focus the mind on a particular locus in the body. Like the 6 chakras, Mooladhara chakra, Swadhisthana chakra, etc. Generally, we recommend fixing the mind in Hridaya, in the heart. Because heart is considered the best place for, most suitable place for meditation, focusing the mind during meditation. Therefore, during Upasana, we visualize the Upasya in the heart region. It is dharana, fixing the mind on the heart. Here, the author gives another interpretation of dharana. What is dharana? Yatra yatra manoyati. See, let the mind go where it wants. If the mind wants to go to America, let it go. If the mind wants to go to moon, let it go. But where it goes, whatever our mind thinks, one should immediately bring the understanding, it is Brahman. If the mind thinks of moon, understand it is Brahman. If the mind goes to sun, understand it is Brahman. then the mind cannot go anywhere other than Brahman. Yatra yatra manoyati tatra tatra samadhaya. Drigdrishya Vivekakara says. So, yatra yatra manoyati, wherever the mind goes, tatra brahmanaha darshanat, by seeing Brahman there, manaso dharanam, by this one can restrain the mind. Dharana sa paramata. This is the greatest type of dharana. The other dharana is a lesser dharana. Brahmaivasmiti sadvritya niralambataya sthitihi dhyana shabdena vikhyata paramanandadayini. After dharana, dhyana. Dhyana means entertaining the flow of similar thoughts, entertaining Brahmakara vritti. There is an often used word in Vedanta, Brahmakara vritti. Generally, our vrittis are Vishayakara. Vritti means a thought in the mind. Every function of mind is called a vritti. Every thought is a function in the mind, a modification in the mind. It is known as vritti. If I look at a pot, a vritti arises in my mind. The vritti is called ghatakara vritti. A vritti which corresponds to a pot. Ghatakara vritti. If I see a tree, another vritti happens in my mind. Vrikshakara vritti. So, every thought is a vritti. Every knowledge is a vritti. Everything that I know is a vritti. Generally, our vrittis are Vishayakara in the form of object. And now, by Vedanta Shravana, we get another form of vritti, Brahmakara vritti. It is also known as Akhandakara vritti. Since Brahman is Akhanda, free from all divisions, the understanding of Brahman as the infinite, as non-different from me, is known as Akhandakara vritti. In the process of dhyana, we entertain the akhandakara vritti. Brahmaivasmiti sadvrittya. Sadvritti, akhandakara vritti or brahmakara vritti can also be called sadvritti, because it is a proper vritti, a vritti based on pramana. Sati pramanantara badha yogya vrittihi sadvrittihi. Sati means pramanantara badha yogya. It is a vritti which cannot be negated by any other pramanas. In fact, every other vritti can be negated by other pramanas. Just like the snake vritti. When you see a snake in the rope, what is the vritti? It is snake vritti, sarpakara vritti. When another knowledge arises, this is a rope. When this knowledge arises, then the sarpakara vritti gets negated. Therefore, the sarpakara vritti is asadvritti. Means it is subject to negation. Any vritti that is subject to negation is called asadvritti, a negatable vritti. Likewise, even the vishayakara vritti gets negated during Brahmajnana. Therefore, every vishayakara vritti also is asadvritti. It is a vritti that will be falsified. The only sadvritti is akhandakara vritti, and it is in the form of aham brahmasmi, I am Brahman. Aham brahmasmi iti sadvritya. By entertaining this vritti, niralambataya sthitihi, abiding without any alamba, means without any thought of the jagat, without entertaining vishayakara vritti. Dhyana shabdena vikhyata, it is known as dhyana. Paramananda daini, dhyana leads to paramananda, Brahman. Nirvikarataya vrittya brahmakarataya punaha vritti vismaranam samyak samadhirjnana sanjakaha. Vritti vismaranam samadhi. So, the general understanding of samadhi. What is samadhi? It is an event, an experience that happens for a while when you are meditating. It is quite possible one can experience a state of absorption. The state of absorption is called samadhi. In fact, the word samadhi means absolute focus. When the mind is absolutely focused, it is called samadhi. You can experience samadhi even during watching a TV. Often we get it. You watch your favorite TV program, you forgot the time, forgot yourself also. Forgot yourself as an individual, forgot the time, forgot the place where you are, forgot food, forgot everything, what you have to do. It is an absorption. It can happen in anything. And the same thing can happen when you are meditating. Dhyatra dhyane parityajya kramadhyayaika gocharam nivatadipavachittam samadhirabhidhiyate. See, there is a dhyatra, dhyana and dhyaya. The meditator, dhyatra. Dhyana is the process of meditation. And dhyaya, the subject matter of meditation. A meditation involves these three. During samadhi, dhyatra dhyane parityajya, the dhyatra is forgotten because of the absorption. And dhyana, the process of meditation, is also forgotten. And only dhyaya, the subject matter of meditation, alone remains in your vicinity. It is called samadhi. When the mind becomes steady only in the dhyaya, only in the subject matter of meditation, only in the theme of meditation, it is called samadhi. Vrittayastu tadanim ajñātā apyātma gocharaha smaranādanumiyante vyutthitasya samutthitātu. Vidyaranya says in Panchadashi. During samadhi, the meditation is going on. The vritti is there. Samadhi does not mean absence of vritti. There is akhandakara vritti continuing spontaneously without effort. But you are not aware of the vritti at that time. Because dhyatra and dhyana, you have, at that time, you have as though forgotten it. It is called vritti vismaranam. Vritti is there, but you are not aware of the presence of vritti at that time because of your absorption in the dhyaya. It is called samadhi, vritti vismaranam. And this kind of samadhi happens for a while during intense meditation. It can happen for a while. Sometimes it may happen for 5 minutes or 10 minutes. Sometimes it can happen for a long time as well. But we should remember, this is not our goal. Getting a samadhi for a while is not our goal. What is our goal? Abiding in samadhi forever. How to abide in samadhi forever? When the jnana is well assimilated, when the Atma Jnana is well assimilated, properly assimilated, your mind does not lose sight of the Atma Jnana. The Atma Jnana is spontaneously available even during transaction. Even during transaction, you don't miss your identity. It is called Sahaja Samadhi. An effortless, spontaneous Samadhi. It happens as a result of a prolonged nididhyasana. Let me give an example. Your identification with your name. When we were born, we didn't have names. After some time, we were given some name. And we were taught, this is your name. During Namakarana, you are named. There is a process called Namakarana, one of the samskaras. And the Nama is given. This is your name. And slowly we got used to that name. Now at this point, if I ask your name, do you have to look into your smartphone for saying your name? The name is spontaneously available because it has become your identity now. You are identifying with the name. Even at 2 a.m., you are traveling by train. Nowadays, it may not happen with you because you travel by flight. But sometimes I travel by train in a sleeper coach. I am sleeping and the TT comes and he will push my leg. I wake up. Then he will ask, what is your name? Do you miss your name? Oh, I will look into my mobile phone and say. It doesn't happen. Because we have a spontaneous identification with our name. We have a spontaneous identification with our gender, our body, everything. When the Atma Jnana becomes equally spontaneous, it is the true Jnana. Then you can say, yes, I am a Jnani. देहात्म प्रत्ययो यद्वत् देहात्म ज्ञान बाधकः आत्मन्येव भवेद्यस्य स नेच्छन्नपि मुच्यते. Just like an ajnani has identification with the body, with the same spontaneity, with the same ease, if one is able to abide in the jnana, aham brahmasmi, such a person, such a jnani, nechannapi muchyate, even if he does not like, he is mukta. So despite engaging in a transaction, he does not miss the jnana. It is spontaneously there. It has become his nature. See, brahmakarataya nirvikarataya vrittya. The vritti, brahmakara vritti, becomes spontaneous. Then nirvikarataya vritti vismaranam. The vritti vismaranam means I am jiva, I am samsari. All the viparita bhavana, they have gone for good. No more viparita bhavana. No more jiva thought. All the samsari vrittis, all the vrittis born of ajnana, they have been erased for good. It does not arise anymore. Such a state is called vritti vismaranam. Samyak vritti vismaranam. A proper vritti vismaranam. Jnana sanjakaha samadhihi. This is samadhi, sahaja samadhi. And sahaja samadhi is nothing but jnana. A well assimilated jnana. Idanch, okay, we'll stop. Om Purnamadah Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnamevavashishyate. Om Shanti Shanti Shantihi. Harihi Om Shri Gurubhyo Namaha. Harihi Om. Yeah. Just a minute, let them switch off this. Yeah.